To North Halton now, where a new art exhibition at Crawford Lake Conservation Area shares the story of the lake from two perspectives. Four artists have created works to represent the Indigenous history and knowledge of the land, while an interactive display shares the recent years of scientific research and the story it tells us.
The idea behind this exhibit, Spirit of the Lake, was to bring out more Indigenous knowledge when it comes to the lake. But as you can see within the pieces here as well, that they're adding in, the scientific history of this place as well. So it really balances out between the science and the Indigenous knowledge.
One of the featured artists grew up close enough to Crawford Lake that it was a place her family could visit whenever they chose. Shade Sandy shares some of those experiences and memories of enjoying the scenery and animals in her oil painting, Life on Crawford Lake. Specific animals like the turtle represent one of the clans within Indigenous culture, while the depiction of the Jefferson salamander is about including an animal which Sandy notes is facing possible extinction.
I wanted to pull from my own perspective and what I know as Crawford Lake, but then I also still integrate my values within that, where we, as Haudenosaunee people, we feel this connection to all living things, and that includes the water.
Also featured in the exhibition are three other Indigenous artists: Catherine Tamero, who painted She the Land Maid, Mariah Alexander's digital drawing entitled Echoes Beneath the Surface, and Kelly Green with a mixed media piece called She Reveals Her Knowledge and Sings for Healing. Amidst those works is an interactive digital display where visitors can tap the screen to learn more about many facets of the area.
Did you know Crawford Lake is a storyteller?
Part of the story it tells is about the impact we as humans have had on our planet. Francine McCarthy, a professor of earth sciences at Brock University, and her team have extracted core samples from the sediment in the bed of Crawford Lake over several years. Scientific research on each of the visible layers are like chapters in the storybook. One of the most interesting comes from the early 1950s because it shows the impact of nuclear weapons testing. This is one of the key discoveries that led to Crawford Lake being named as the Golden Spike, denoting a change in epochs. Now we're living in the Anthropocene. The lake has also offered other historical notes, such as the discovery of corn pollen, which proved that Indigenous people lived on the land centuries ago. It's this combined history which is on display as part of Spirit of the Lake.
Indigenous representation within the science is vital because it's also showing us another way of looking at the spaces that we're living in. So we can see it through the lake sediments, the changes in the biodiversity, the ecology of the environment, but we get that through Indigenous knowledge as well, through our creation stories, to our ceremonies that we practice, things like that. These are all teachings that are passed down from generation to generation.
Doc Stater added that shows like this one are one way to keep the momentum generated by these scientific discoveries going, engaging the interest of visitors to learn about the entire history of the land. Sandy hopes viewers embrace the different perspectives each of the artists has to offer.
I think it's really important to see the different messages behind each artist and the different values they hold behind each of their works.
Spirit of the Lake is open to visitors on weekends in the Deer Clan Longhouse at Crawford Lake Conservation Area between now and June 28th. Jason Trout for Halton News at Crawford Lake.